My 22F little brother, 16M, came out and our parents, 50M and 50F, kicked him out. I don't have the best relationship with mine parents as they focus more on mistakes than accomplishments. My brother is a bright spot during all this. I got an apartment recently and a job, so I moved out. My brother confided in him being gay a few years ago and I was really happy. He wanted to come out on his own terms, so I respected his privacy. Yesterday though, he called me and was sobbing saying our parents kicked him out after him being gay. It's illegal to kick out underage people, but he fears our parents will kill him if he gets CPS involved. I was more than happy to temporarily house him in. I called today. My parents insisted to me that I cannot take him in on the account of him being gay. When I told them to fuck off, they said we brought you to this world and we can easily take you and your brother out. I'm really scared for our lives right now and even the cops aren't much help. What can I do? Both of you, document their threats. And then you can demand the police take action, or you can get a restraining order. Otherwise, move forward without your parents. Kept the text message and showed it to the cops and they kept explaining to me it was just a joke about the murder threat. You need to call CPS and the police. Not only is kicking out a minor illegal, the threats are very concerning. At the very least, they can force your parents to pay for his housing, and if you let him live with you, the government can give you a stipend for him if you parents are found unfit, which they most likely will be. Thank you so much for taking care of your brother. Quick advice is to gather any important documents like birth certificate, passport, vaccine records and keep in your home. If he has no access, consider sneaking in while they are away or involving law enforcement to help retrieve his belongings. Also, contact the Department of Health and Human Services or him to apply for benefits like SNAP. They will also assist in navigating other available services. Be prepared to wait. An EBT card might take a week to receive an emergency deposit. Contact CPS to ask what your next step is to take over guardianship. I previously volunteered in social work for unsheltered people living with HIV/AIDS and can testify that the number of LGBTQ+ teens kicked out for this reason is tragic. Please protect your brother and don't let him return to their house alone. Pretty sure that's a death threat. Now that he is safe, call CPS and the police. You're housing a teen, and your parents should be funding him, and this is abuse and neglect. Not only that, but I'm worried about your safety. Start the paper trail now. If the cops won't do anything, CPS has to open a case. It would help if your son talked to a school counselor as well. It's back up for him, a paper trail from a neutral party, and they have to report as well. My 29F childhood friends, all 29F, took my husband's 30M side after we broke up. Now that we're reconciling, they want to be friends again. I have 4 childhood friends: Amber, Lucy, Jane and Hannah. We've been friends since we were 3 and have gone through a lot together. Our families are all friends too. I married my husband 5 years ago after dating for 2. Our relationship reached a tipping point last year and we chose to separate. I didn't expect my childhood friends to take his side over mine, but they did, excluding Hannah. They removed me from our group chat, blocked me on social media and were constantly reaching out to my husband to offer him comfort. Even the friends that I met through him treated me better than them. Hannah was the only one of them that didn't treat me badly. She actually helped me understand the divorce process, offered to let me live with her until I was back on my feet, let me cry to her over the phone at midnight, etc. My husband asked for us to try reconciling 2 months ago. I don't want to jinx it, but things are going well. My friends found out and now they want to be friends again. They all sent me long individual apologies to explain their behavior. I haven't responded to any of them, but they've been pestering Hannah to ask me to talk to them again. Jane's parents even asked mine to ask me to respond to her because she was devastated over our falling out. I'm considering talking to Lucy because she's married to my cousin, but I'm not sure about Amber or Jane yet. If you were in my situation, what would you do? Too long didn't read. Childhood friends chose to block me out of their lives after they found out I was divorcing my husband. Now that we're reconciling, they wish to be friends again. Why did they take his side? Do they want to bang him or something? Or did you cheat on him and they felt bad for him? You're leaving out major details as to why 3 of 4 friends took your husband's side. Either they're just shit people or they have a reason to take his side. If they're just shit people, then don't let them back into your life. You didn't have a falling out, they outright abandoned you. They're pestering your only real friend out of the group and even one's mother is involved. Hell nah. These catty bitches need to be put in their place and realize they can't treat you like literal garbage and expect a warm welcome after a falling out that was, to reiterate, 100% entirely their doing. Their behavior now sounds like they're honestly just sucking up to you to stay on your husband's good side. If they were so devastated after cutting you off, why did they collectively do it? I'd cut them off and send them a tasteful, yet terse last message explaining exactly why they're shit, how you deserve better, and how they're not welcome in your life. Please move on from these toxic people. Something is missing here. Childhood friends don't all decide to ditch you for your estranged husband just because he is funny or charming or whatever. Sounds to me like the friends think Op's behavior was at fault in her relationship's demise and possibly some impropriety was going on. I mean, what were the explanations for their behavior? Like if you were the one that cheated or something, I can understand them taking his side. You conveniently leave out all details of the divorce and their reasonings in this post. Variation of I thought you were making a mistake, you broke his heart and we were worried he wasn't stable, and if he did something you would blame yourself for it. He's our friend too, and since you left him we thought it wouldn't be fair to take your side over his. I didn't cheat. We were getting a divorce because we were fighting constantly and he didn't understand that marriage was a compromise and he couldn't always have his way or be right. I'm curious, what kind of friendship did your husband have with these women when you separated? Has he gone into any details? Are you close with your cousin? Have you asked if Lucy talked about any of this with them? He showed me their texts, which were just them all constantly asking him if he needed anything and if he wanted to hang out when he was back. I'm close to my cousin. I haven't asked him because I didn't want to cause issues in their relationship. I appreciate the apology, but it doesn't erase the fact that I was deeply hurt by your actions, and I'm going to need you to let me figure out what I want to do about that on my own timeline. Please stop trying to pressure me to have that conversation before I'm ready, or it won't go well. And please don't put Hannah, my family, or anyone else in the middle, because that doesn't really persuade me that you want to be a more supportive friend from now on, or understand what that entails. If they keep pushing, then honestly, I would be done and move on. Again, it's not your job to assuage their guilt, assuming that's actually what's driving them. They need to be willing to learn what they need to learn from those feelings and do better in future, regardless of whether they get the chance to show you or not. My boyfriend is saying he wants to marry someone else but see me on the side. I don't think he's thinking with his right mind. My 23F boyfriend, 23M, and I were having a talk about our plans for the future, and I've always thought, for as long as I've known him, we'd get married and adopt kids. My boyfriend has never mentioned being against adoption, until today. He said that he wants biological kids. I'm a trans woman. I can't do that for him. I don't hold him not telling me earlier against him because I did wait a month to tell him I was trans when we started seeing each other, although I've always made it clear that my heart is in adoption. He's mentioned surrogacy before, but commercial surrogacy is illegal and I don't know if I agree with the practice anyway. Today, he pitched me the craziest idea I've ever heard. He wants to get married to another woman, have biological kids with her, but it will just be an arrangement for those purposes and I will be his wife in spirit. I ask what woman would agree to that arrangement. He says a very religious lesbian who wants kids. I tell him no lesbian is going to have sex with him, and he says they could go the artificial insemination route. Tell him no one would do that and he tells me I haven't met everybody. I tell him I don't want him being married to another woman and I don't want to be his mistress, and he says they can possibly annul it after a period of time. Not to mention, We're both Catholic, so we take the religious implications of literally getting married to someone pretty seriously. Edit, we're not staunchly religious at all. Just religious enough to want to be married by a priest. Edit 2, why everyone is focusing on the religion aspect. We are the most mild Catholics ever. He has an answer for everything, but none of his answers ever make sense. I have no clue why he's doing this. He says he doesn't want to break up under any circumstances, but is he just in denial? I really don't want to break up either. How can I snap him out of this? Edit, so we're engaged and adopting. He just needed some time. Smile. Lol, yeah, we'll just get an annulment after a few kids. NBD. WTF, that's not how that works at all. We'll get married, use your womb to make a baby, take said baby, then annul the marriage. Great. Where do I sign up? Rolling eyes face. What does marriage have to do with bearing children? Why not marry you and arrange to have children in some other way that makes more sense? I was so confused as to how marriage has anything to do with it. You focus too much on no one would do that and too little on whether you want to. It seems like he'd have to be a very specific person in order for this to work. Like how many ultra-religious lesbians who need to get married to a man in order to have kids are going to be totally excited for their husband to have a girlfriend who helps raise the kids? Or do you just disappear when he parents his kid with his wife and only reappear when he wants your time/attention? It actually seems like he's decided he wants biological kids with a woman who can have them. And he's letting you know you can stick around until he finds the woman he will marry, but it won't be you. Sorry, that really stinks, but at least they did you the favor of telling you now rather than 10 years from now. Lesbians don't wanna bang your boyfriend, they want to go to sperm banks.